Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video, and today we're covering the Endurance Fleet Mastery event. This is the recurring event. It comes back about once a month where you can earn shards of Mace Windu's Endurance capital ship to get it to 7 stars. So this is the event here. You need to be level 80 and you can enter the battle. We can see possible rewards include 15 shards. So you do need to go from 0 shards at 6 stars all the way to 100 shards. So you do need to play this quite a few times in order to get the 7-star capital ship. So it's not something you can rush unless you're willing, of course, to spend a little bit of money or crystals in the shop to accelerate your trip to 7 stars. So the long and short of it is, if you're able to beat the 6-star mission, which is very difficult, then you can beat the 7-star mission. How you choose to go about it can vary depending on your team composition. The way that I choose to do it is to maximize Big's protection. So Big's protection, I try to get him regen, I try to get target locking allies, and the lineup can change a little bit. You might want to put the Ghost and Phantom together. They get a little synergy. Jedi Councilor ship has a shield regen. 5's ship has an automatic target lock on its missile attack. So there's lots of ways that you can go about this. This is the lineup I'm using. And again, if it was good enough to get you through the 6 stars, you can get through the 7 stars. So let's jump in to the battle. So here we go into the first wave, and you can see it's 3 First Order TIE fighters. And what we want to do is try to eliminate one of these TIE fighters very quickly and then slow down from there. The ultimate goal being to get to the 3rd wave with everybody having full health and protection and all of our specials, including Mace Windu's ultimate, his defense ability, ready to go. So don't be afraid to burn specials early on here. You want to use high damage attacks. Get rid of that First Order TIE fighter pilot, and then once the first one's down, you can kind of slow down a little bit. I do still use some specials here, even getting the second one down, because they're First Order TIE pilots. Their damage is really high. They can do double attacks, and if all 3 of them go in a row and they all get a double attack, they can wipe out one of your other ships, or if they target Biggs, they can do a lot of damage to his health, and you want him going into the final battle with full health and protection if at all possible. So now that we're down to just the final ship, it's just basics. We did want to use the rocket barrage ability from Mace Windu when there's multiple target locks out there, because we want to give the buff to all our ships. For every turn that they take when they have a buff, they reduce the cooldown of the ultimate defensive ability for the Endurance as well. So after clearing the first wave, the second wave is an exact copy. 3 First Order TIE fighter pilots, and the strategy is an exact copy. Burn down one as quickly as we can. We get a little bit unlucky with target locks early on. Still going to use some specials here early, but really quickly we want to stop doing that and switch to basics, because we want every special ability that we have available at the start of wave 3. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but we'll get into them in a little more detail when that wave starts. So here we are again. Rex has taken some hits, and that's okay because he has a self-protection regeneration ability. And in addition, we can use the Endurance Taunt to regain some protection as well. So of all the targets to take some hits there, if it's not going to be Biggs, Rex's ship is probably the second best one for me, for my lineup, to be taking hits at this point. And now it's just a decision of how quickly you want to burn these down. We're looking for a target lock here, getting really unlucky without getting one this entire fight. But we're still okay here. There we go. Finally, Rex pops a target lock on the unbuffed and undebuffed First Order TIE fighter pilot. Rex's basic should put target lock on any target it fires at with its basic that doesn't have a buff or a debuff. Sometimes it gets resisted, but if it doesn't, that's a good source of target locks for this team as well. So just the final enemy left. Again, we're doing basics, and we can see the Endurance has the defense ability ready to go. The only other thing, if possible, you want to go into this final wave with as much turn meter as possible, especially on the Endurance, because the enemy starts with a high amount of turn meter, and if you can beat them, get the defensive ability from the ultimate down before the first wave of attacks, it may help you survive. So we've got 2 First Order TIE Fighter pilots, Darth Vader, Kylo Ren's command shuttle, and the Scimitar. The First Order TIE Fighters are the threat here in terms of damage. There's 2 of them, and the reinforcements I think can include 1 or 2 more of them. And they do, again, heavy damage. So you want to take those out as quickly as possible. The other thing that's going to happen is the Scimitar is going to use its special to put everyone in stealth and put retribution on the command shuttle, as it just did. This can be a little troublesome because you can't get through it. There are some dispels, including 5's basic if there's a target lock on this ship, so you can use those. Ahsoka's ship is another good one. But the other thing is the First Order pilots accelerate their own turns when they're shooting, or when anyone is shooting something with a target lock. So they'll burn themselves out of stealth quickly. Unfortunately, I lose Biggs pretty early there, which isn't great, but we're still okay. What I'm going to do is bring in 5's, and 5's can kind of serve as a pseudo taunt, thanks to the Endurance having its taunt ability. It can apply taunt to somebody. 5's is a pretty beefy ship, and it can take some hits, so we're still okay here. Now, stealth is off the 2 First Order TIE Fighter pilots. We're going to attack the second one with target lock, and now we've got 2 target locked enemies, and I'm hoping that I can get 5's ship to come up with a special. Here we go. We lost Rex first, but now we'll be able to take out one of the TIE Fighters, do some damage to the second, and also do some damage to Kylo Ren because he was also target locked. So now, looking at the turn meter here, the enemy's going to get a couple of turns very soon, and my ships are damaged, and I can't call in a reinforcement. So one thing to do would be to fire the missile. It would speed up the next Endurance turn, but instead I decide I really can't lose another ship here. I put up the damage immunity from the ultimate, and thankfully I did, because 5's might have been taken out by that first attack there after I did it. So now we've controlled the situation a little bit. We have defense up on anybody who doesn't take a turn, and it's going to be Cassian, and good. We use the bonus attack from Wedge. We call in Wedge. He's our strongest attacker, and take out the second First Order TIE Fighter pilot. So Tarkin's next turn, he could call a reinforcement. If he does, it'll just be 1 TIE Fighter. It will still have even numbers. It'll still be okay. But remember, everything that's happening here is being done against a clock. Tarkin's ultimate is that TIE Fighter swarm, and it's really powerful. It can take out multiple ships if they're low on health. So, and those that it doesn't take out, it can stun. So you want to make sure that you're going as fast as possible or as safe as possible. You can pick either option based on your lineup, but if you're playing it safe, make sure you constantly have health and protection on all of your ships so that they can survive the first, that TIE Fighter assault wave. So we get the Scimitar down. I decided to focus that next because you don't want a second stealth attack. I didn't want to again have to deal with retribution, probably on Kylo Ren's ship, and again not being able to attack those other ships. Vader's ship is a little slower, so I thought that wasn't the priority. I went for the Scimitar after the 2 First Order TIE Fighter pilots. We lost 5's, but that's okay. We still have, I think, 1 reinforcement left, and we're going to try and get Vader's ship down now as quickly as possible. No real point here in, well, I guess we'll use the special to try and get a debuff on Vader's ship, with the thought that if I can use Wedge's missile attack, it'll be more powerful if there's a debuff on there. Vader's ship goes down. It's just Kylo Ren's command shuttle. He does have a lot of health and a little bit of protection on top of it, so I don't think we're going to be able to take him out here before Tarkin's next turn. So we call in another reinforcement, add another body to the lineup here. We're going to use the second special, to try and give ourselves crit chance up. And unfortunately, Tarkin's ship does get a turn, but it's not the ultimate, and it wasn't a reinforcement. That was surprising, but even if it was, we easily would have handled a 2-on-5 situation there. So now we're just trying to do as much damage as quickly as possible, but again, this is a beefy ship that's able to take some hits. What I probably should have done, that was a mistake. I probably should have put the taunt up because it would have given a little more protection, and I think the next attack here could be the TIE Fighter swarm, and we're probably not going to finish off the command shuttle in time. So getting ready to survive the assault would have been better. There comes the TIE Fighter wave. We lose 2 ships. A third takes a lot of damage, but we survived. We're in the fight. It's just 1-on-3, and we can put a taunt and some protection up on Wedge. He was the healthiest ship left. Get an attack in. 1 more basic from the Ghost, and we survive and we get ourselves a victory. So this is a tough battle, but it's not as hard as the 6-star battle. That was my second run at this, and you can do it if you use your lineup. Pick ships that are stronger for you, that you know how to use, that have good synergy. Keep bigs around as long as possible. Stall once you get the first damage dealers out of the way so the ultimate is ready to go. Manipulate so that your turn meter is high going into that final wave, and then hit those TIE fighter pilots, those first order TIE fighter pilots, with everything that you have as quickly as possible because you are on a clock. And then try to keep yourself as healthy as possible once you've done that. Regenerate protection, taunt, keep the endurance cycling. If you can use the missile attack and hit multiple targets, you do want to do that because every target it hits reduces its cooldown. And when it has the buff out on the allies, it speeds up your team. It speeds up the endurance. So a good attack to use in the right situations if there's at least 1 or 2 target locks out there. So that's this battle. It is a little bit RNG dependent. You can get unlucky with reinforcements, with attacks, with crits, all that. But it's not as bad as the 6-star battle. So if you've gotten through that, you can get through this, and it is worth it. You want that 7-star ship because it gives you the 4th reinforcement, which is certainly useful for territory wars. If you're going for a defensive stall setup, Windu's ship can help you accomplish that. So that's going to wrap up this video. If you guys have any tips, if you've done this a certain way, if you would do it differently than I did, or if this helped you out, please let me know in the comments below. I appreciate hearing from you guys. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.